and welcome to the classic Replica tournament round of 16. We started off with 32 robots, but now half of them are licking their wounds while the rest are here, ready to take on their next challenge. Time to see the lineup. A replay of a grand final qualifier with Hypno-Disc against Bigger Brother, then another spinner versus flipper battle with GBH taking on Topbot. Afterwards, we have the Mace of Stinger fighting the box on wheels Tracy, and then a battle of flippers with Big Cheese and Thermidor 2. The second half starts with a battle of overhead weaponry with Propeller Head and Terahertz before a vengeance matchup with Exterminator and Arnold A. Mousetrap and Disco Inferno will see who has the best dance moves, and lastly is Mace against Stegosaurus. Only 8 will survive this round, so let the wars begin.
Cheney, Banbury in Oxfordshire, Hypno-Disc.
Big nasty disc spinning over 1000 RPM. Persistent and tough to beat, but still weak to a good flipper.
From Brighton, Bigger Brother.
Tough to crack with its thick armour and weapons. Capable of landing the final blow, providing it doesn't get stuck on its back.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
What a fantastic way to start off the round of 16. Bigger Brother trying to get into the side of Hypno-Disc. One flip and it's over. But Hypno-Disc won't go down without a fight. That disc up to speed, and what a great hit that was! Slam it off with the flipper. Oh, Bigger Brother, let's look at that again. Bang! Sending them both flying away. That disc is deadly. And Bigger Brother's going to have to be very careful. Or very brave. They managed to get underneath it there. They're pushing Hypno-Disc back from under the disc, and another hit! Charging into the disc head on. They are not scared of Hypno-Disc. The Hypno-Disc still wearing up to speed. Into the flipper again, trying to break that main weapon. That's the main threat. Yow, that looked painful. Take care of the weapon. And the robot is completely defenseless. The only thing it'll have is its strong pushing ability, which Hypno-Disc does lack, unfortunately. As we can see there, another shove on Bigger Brother into the corner. Shoving Hypno-Disc, and they get away. More hits into the side. But wait a minute, there's something at the end of the arena. What is that? The disc is spinning. I actually think it's one of the teeth. I actually think it's one of the teeth of the main cutting tooth from Hypno-Disc, which means that blade is also just spinning. And yes, it is completely gone. That weapon is useless as well. Both of them now weaponless, and Bigger Brother holding on to Hypno-Disc, holding them back. And look at the damage! Breaking the flipper! All that punishment has finally come to effect. The disc still spinning, trying to catch it with the upper tooth. Didn't happen. Hypno-Disc away. Bigger Brother still shoving them. Maybe try and get them into the pit. Oh! Very close. Hypno-Disc still spinning that disc. Maybe try to catch the top of the flipper, cause some more damage. But Bigger Brother being more aggressive here. Last couple of seconds. Is anything major going to happen now? Bigger Brother shoving him towards the pit. Didn't quite get them in. But it's definitely going to go at time. Bigger Brother nearly in.
Cease.
Oh, that's going down to the judges. Indeed, a split decision was made for this one. Based on control and aggression, they've gone for Bigger Brother as the winner. Hypno-Disc just lost out on that one, but it looks like they did cause possible permanent damage to Bigger Brother going forward. Let's keep the momentum going with GBH and Topbot.
From Clondalkin in Ireland, Topbot.
Causes severe damage with that disc, directly driven from the motor powering it, meaning it gives the best hits it can deliver.
London, GBH.
That large scoop on the front is perfect for protecting and pushing. Doesn't have the power to lift, but can still take the hits.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So we've lost one big spinner, but GBH now shoving the other, pinning Topbot into the side, trying to lift them up, stopping the disc from spinning. And after 10 seconds, they are going to have to let them go. GBH away. And now Topbot away, but that disc is now getting up to speed, heading into the side of GBH, into the scoop. GBH keeping the front towards the disc so they can deflect all the hits, but that wasn't a good defense there from GBH. Topbot into the back, into the scoop. Let's see that again. Charging each other, Topbot came in. Oh! And they've actually split the scoop from the body. That weapon is now unable to lift anything. So now it's just going to be used as a battering ram. But Topbot, more hits into the side of GBH. And GBH having trouble. Another hit into the side of the scoop. Yes, GBH is having trouble driving on one side. More hits from Topbot. They are trying to break the scoop off of GBH to get to the internals. Still swinging around, keeping the disc at bay. But how long will that scoop hold on for? Because Topbot is a very, very destructive robot. Another hit into the side, and that's causing some major damage internally as well, and still trying to take the scoop off. It's only held on by its linkage now. It's completely separate from the body of GBH. They are trying to move out of their circumference. Another couple of slams from Topbot. The GBH struggling to move, but they are coming out of their circumference. Topbot going in for another hit. More chips into the side of the armor. It's a thick armored shell, GBH. But down to the last couple of seconds. No way, I actually think they're being immobilized. GBH being counted down. There's too much damage. They haven't moved an awful lot. And Topbot is going to be moving on. Too much internal damage has caused GBH to fall and out of the tournament. Topbot spins its way to victory. Now it's the weapon on wheels and the box on wheels to fight it out.
From Chelmsford in Essex, Tracy.
The low compact shell with two wheels gives it that balance for easy control and drive. Its pushing ability is the main thing to watch out for.
From Lincoln, Stinger.
The wheels protect the electronics from all attacks. The tail can swing down with great force, but accuracy isn't its greatest strength.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Box on wheel versus a weapon on wheels. Stinger's just running around madly. Tracy give them a little shove. Sort of feeling each other out. See the best form of attack, and Tracy's shoving Stinger into the wall. Trying to tip them over by the looks like it. Stinger stuck momentarily but managed to get away. And Stinger still a little out of control, but Tracy is following them and pinning them into the corner. Another shove from Tracy. The spikes in the front are keeping Stinger in control, it seems. And Stinger still bouncing off the walls. There hasn't been much attacking from them. Plenty of controlled attacks from Tracy. Another hit into the arena wall. Of course, Stinger. A thwack bot, but hasn't done very much thwacking, unfortunately. Tracy is doing what it does best and just pushing things around. More shoves into the corner. And Stinger nearly rolling over the top of Tracy, and Tracy shoving them again. That seems to be the tactic. Just try and damage the internals of Stinger. It has nothing else really to attack. A little swing around the arena. And is it me or is Stinger just seeming a little bit tired? Even that fall 360 defensive spin seemed to be a little bit slow to me. It does seem like Stinger is slowing down, but Tracy has managed to get one of its spikes pierced inside one of the wheels. And that is definitely going to count as damage. If this goes to a judge's decision, they're now pinning them in. Stinger definitely seems to be slightly out of control. Last couple of seconds. Tracy still trying to get a few more shoves in. But in the end, this one's definitely going to the judges.
Cease.
Another judge's decision, but this was an easy one for them, going for Tracy. Stinger struggled, but it wasn't enough to overcome the invertible box. Now, is cheese better than lobster? We should decide that right here, right now.
From Somerset, Big Cheese.
That lifting arm is a threat to any machine that manages to get underneath. It struggles on its back, but it isn't easy to make that happen.
From Costasy Norwich, Thermidor 2.
The flipper on the lobster is impressive, sending machines out of the arena. The exposed wheels are a major weakness, and that might have them ended up in the pot.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
I think this is the first time we've had a food fight in the Robot Carnage arena. Thermidor sort of running away, Big Cheese underneath and trying to get Thermidor out of the arena, but they flipped them over instead. Look at this, underneath, Thermidor couldn't escape, and using that powerful lifting arm, tried to get Thermidor out, but flipped them over instead. And Thermidor has been able to struggle to self-right. Well, not there, so it seems. Managed that time. Big Cheese underneath Thermidor again, flicking them again, and self-righting beautifully. The Big Cheese being the dominant one here until that moment. Thermidor flicking the Big Cheese. See that again, up and over. And it's Big Cheese that now has to try and self-right as quickly as Thermidor does. And with the help from the lobster, the fight continues. But will Thermidor regret that decision? As Big Cheese shoves back underneath them again. Thermidor still chasing after them, trying to get at the back or the side. The Big Cheese is not easy to get underneath. But even when underneath, he still manages to push back. Thermidor still looking for that catch point and flicking them over again. And Big Cheese trying to self-right. They're struggling. And Thermidor seems to be pushing them towards the pit. And now the Big Cheese has managed to self-right. And slamming into the wall, possibly trying to go for the pit. But that didn't happen. And what a flick that was from Thermidor. Throwing the Big Cheese over, nearly out of the arena. Just bounced onto our polycarbonate walls, back into the arena. And Big Cheese, unable to get down from that position. They are stuck on their side. The arm twitching, showing this movement. But they're not going to get down from there. Thermidor leaving them alone. And they move on to the next round.
Cease.
A brilliant display from both machines, but Big Cheese unable to self-right sends Thermidor 2 through to the next round. We're halfway through now, and it's the Propeller blade against the Axe blade. Who has the better overhead weapon?
From Colorado, USA, Propeller Head.
Possibly the scariest spinner in the show. The rebuilt blade is stronger and can deal bigger hits, but it does want to take off if it's going too fast.
From Oxford, Terahertz.
The drive and skill of this machine is to be feared. Armour might be an issue as it's not the best against brute force and is easily damaged.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Let's see how that new propeller works for Propeller Head. Getting up to speed in Terahertz. Wanted to avoid that, although mind you, going in, deflected. Off the hit, and oh, Propeller Head bouncing off there, and something's come off! What was that? Let's see that again. Propeller Head went in, bounced off the front, and then something came off. Oh, that's the piece on the front of Terahertz that stops the axe from hitting the floor. And it looks like Terahertz is actually stuck to one wheel now. Well, they are moving forward now. Looks like trying to go for the pit release button, and that was another hit for Propeller Head. Another slam. And they seem to be stuck. Oh, hanging over the edge of the pit. Propeller Head going for the pin. Terahertz have gone in. Probably wanted to avoid any more damage. But swinging over the edge, they only had one wheel working. And they sink into the pit and out of the competition. Propeller Head moves on.
Cease.
Terahertz going into the pit to save itself taking any more punishment. The armour is shredded thanks to that spinning propeller, and Propeller Head now gets to move forward. Another vengeance battle is up, with Exterminator battling Arnold A.
From Belmont in Herefordshire, Exterminator.
Sticking with the axe, ready to terminate all in its path. The shell is thick and protects well, but the small ground clearance can seem a bit of a problem.
From Hypno-Disc in Buckinghamshire, Arnold A.
An axe lifter combo that throws opponents over and then attacks the soft underbelly. Suffers from a high ground clearance, and we haven't seen this replica self-right before.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
This is a repeat battle of a Heat semi-final. Exterminator pinning Arnold A in, and Arnold A using the axe to prevent Exterminator's axe. We're going in, but now Mora going in for the attack, repetitively swinging that axe into the top of Arnold A. Arnold A swinging round, and now Exterminator pinned him, and Arnold A trying to get into the side, bringing the lifter or the axe, and they've toppled over. Exterminator has flipped Arnold A, and what an amazing piece of self-righting there. Let's see that. Exterminator using Arnold A's flipper against it, turned it over, and that is the first time we have seen this replica self-right. And now Arnold A still getting bullied by Exterminator. Exterminator showing who's the boss. The Arnold A not giving up at all. Still trying to chase them down with that flipper. Again, shoved into the side again. Arnold A into the back of Exterminator. Exterminator on its side. Swinging the axe. And nothing will come in of it. Arnold A going in. Couple of hits with the axe. And Exterminator doesn't have any self-righting arms on it. And they are stuck on their side. Arnold A backing off. The axe still swinging. Arnold A. Couple of extra taps. But they move on. Exterminator exterminated as Arnold A takes them out of the game, and they move forward. Coming up now is Mousetrap and Disco Inferno, who have fought in this arena before. first battled in complete Carnage when Disco Inferno was still a Hexbug mod and Mousetrap had a Lego weapon. They then fought in Robot Carnage Series 2 with no real upgrade. Disco Inferno won both times, but they've both had improvements, so anything can happen.
From Oxford and Bristol, Mousetrap.
A good control bot with that Mousetrap-like weapon. My only fear is that polycarbonate armour is very weak to a spinner.
From Cambridge, Disco Inferno.
Sacrifice and drive speed for weapon power, this machine has definitely been delivering the hits. But that lack of speed might cost them, especially against a faster machine.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Will Disco Inferno be able to make this a 3-0? Oh, and what's that? That's damage done already to Mousetrap, getting past that polycarbonate armour and breaking the chassis. But Mousetrap, significantly more stronger, pushing Disco Inferno around. The disc, definitely more powerful, but Mousetrap certainly more faster. It's sort of swinging around, it is definitely not as fast as it was. It's no longer doing that quick spin around, that defensive spin that it's known to do before. They've given that up for a more controlled machine. But against a control bot, that is not good news, especially when Mousetrap comes in with that swinging bar and essentially taking control of the fight, and now pushing Disco Inferno into the side, pinning it, bring it down. That slamming bar, trying to cause as much damage as possible to the top. Maybe break something internally. Disco Inferno slowly, sluggishly chasing after them. And Mousetrap away, shoving Disco Inferno into the side. Almost like trying to get them close to the pit. If it were down, the Mousetrap could easily take this. But Disco Inferno is not giving up. They are still having that weapon up to full speed, but Mousetrap's still pushing them around. Trying to get into the side, possibly avoid the weapon. But you can see Mousetrap is so much faster. Another shove into the side by Mousetrap. Disco Inferno chasing them down. And Mousetrap released the pit, and Disco Inferno are a little too close to the pit. And Mousetrap getting a glancing blow from the disc. And now shoving Disco Inferno away and into the pit! That was the plan all along. Because Disco Inferno, far too slow. Didn't get away in time. Mousetrap released the pit and then shoved the spinner in. Mousetrap move on to the next round. Mousetrap trapping Disco Inferno, breaking the disc and then pitting them, even after taking severe damage to their chassis. Mousetrap is moving on to the quarterfinals. Last spot will be taken by one of these next two robots, Mace or Stegosaurus.
From St. Leonard's-on-Sea, Mace.
A lifting arm and flail defend this machine. The lift isn't too great, but they make up for it with control.
From Southampton, Stegosaurus.
Very resilient to any form of attacks, the raw pushing power has caused many upsets. Are we about to see another?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Last fight of the night, and Mace going in, shoving Stegosaurus underneath Mace there momentarily. Mace trying to find a catch point, but Stegosaurus is low around every single side of it. Can't get it from the front, far too low. Ground clearance at the side is also very low. That flipper not able to get underneath them cleanly, but managing to shove Stegosaurus around. And Stegosaurus managing to get away, but Mace almost bullying them. It seems Stegosaurus has had trouble with drive recently, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But they are pushing against one another now. The Mace still hunting them down and nearly underneath. Stegosaurus pushing back underneath Mace. And a shove from them both. And now Mace going for the pit and releasing it. So what's the tactic now for Stegosaurus? Try and get Mace in. Although it seems that Mace is just a little bit stronger. Pushing against one another. Just running rings around each other almost. And Mace still going in. Of course, with Mace having two weapons, Stegosaurus has to be careful. And Mace still trying to get underneath Stegosaurus from the front, but it's not happening. Another couple of shoves and they're very close to the pit, so anything can happen. And Mace swinging round, trying to get Stegosaurus in the pit, and it's in! Almost just hanging on! Mace using the flipper, trying to get Stegosaurus in! And that is it! Down into the pit! And Stegosaurus out of the competition. They were hanging on just for a few seconds, but one flick from Mace, and that's them in. Mace moves on to the final 8. Well done to Mace.
Cease.
The dinosaurs are extinct, with Stegosaurus in the pit and Mace taking the final place in the quarterfinals. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. And join us next week for the final episode of the Classic Replica Tournament. Bigger Brother, Topbot, Tracy, Thermidor 2, Propeller Head, Arnold A, Mousetrap and Mace will all battle it out to become the Classic Replica champion. See you then for more Robot Carnage.